Hello, a very warm good evening. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It's August 22nd, 2024. It's a Thursday, and let's speak about Indian football and the latest happenings in the game. Today, of course, a day where we will speak about the Durand Cup. We will speak about the AFC Challenge League group stage draw, PSC hearing. If there is something to speak about, most probably there will be only something coming out tomorrow morning. So these are some of the topics that we will look at, and I look forward to discussing with you all and speaking with you all about, and then hopefully hearing what all is happening here and there. But let's get into it. RCB Run Machine starts with AFC literally wants India to do something in football. This is an easy group, but still don't trust India after Shillong Lajong. RCB Run Machine, to me, this is not an easy group. So to me, this is an interesting group because it will be played in Paro. Let's wait and see. But to me, this is a very Nejmeh from Lebanon is a challenge. Bashundara Kings have shown against Indian teams that they can be a problem, and Paro FC surely has home advantage. So therefore, for East Bengal, if they play like they played against Lajong, as you say, RCB Run Machine, this won't be good enough. So therefore, East Bengal Football Club will have to do better in 2 months' time when they go to Bhutan to play, and then we'll see what happens. But at the moment, it could have been tougher. Let's put it this way: the draw could have been tough, even tougher for East Bengal. But on the other side, I think that it is a draw which, I don't know. Let's wait and see where things will be. Anwar meeting over. Yes, Prasanjit, the meeting ended a little while ago. It was a very, very long meeting. So therefore that will be an interesting thing of how things will be. So let's wait and see what happens. There is no update, Manolo. There's likely an update tomorrow morning. It is something. So let's wait and see. If East Bengal do not get out of their groups, then all that money is down the drains. RCB Run Machine, I don't think that any Indian club can go into that group and say that they're going to win this group. To be very, very honest with you, no Indian club, even Mohun Bagan and Mumbai City, cannot go into that and say, listen, we're gonna move out of that group easily. Those days are over. Again, we don't have South Asian dominance, and this group to me looks potentially tricky per se. Samanolo said in ISL that Jay Gupta is not ready for international football, then why he selected him now? Manolo, I think certain decisions can be discussed. I think whenever Manolo holds his first press conference, I hope he will be asked these questions. That why why certain players have been called. I'm interested to understand the decision to call up Prabsuk and Gill. To me, that's an interesting one. Dropping Vishal Kate, not calling up Purva Lachempa, but calling up Prabsukan. Maybe he's trying out something. I'm not 100% sure on that. So therefore, that will be an interesting question to pose to the coach in the first press conference whenever that happens as India coach. But otherwise, again, Jay Gupta, is in there. Again, Akash Mishra, of course, is still seriously injured, out for some time. Maybe he might not play this year. So therefore, then the question arises of options. On all on their day, all three teams can beat East Bengal FC in the group. Not easy at all. Paro can play with 9 foreigners. Manolo, yeah, that's the point. They have 11. So therefore, none of these teams should be underestimated. I think it is not the time in today's world, so therefore, yeah, we are in that reality. So therefore, if East Bengal progress from this group, great. If they don't, I wouldn't be surprised. How do you stay in Indian footy for more than 2 decades? You've got massive patience. Renier, that's me. I mean, this is, for example, speaking in the evening with you guys is an interaction platform. I like it. I enjoy it. But for me, I think you all know little about what I've done or what I do for Indian football in the background. And I'm happy with that and try to be a positive influence. I'm not I let my work talk for me. I don't talk more than I work. I think that's the biggest problem that we have in Indian football. A lot of people talk and say, yeah, this, that, everything, whatever I've done. And they don't get the work done. And that's me. That's the difference. And let's wait and see. But, some like it. That's the interesting one. So yeah, that's why 26 years and counting, Renil, and I will continue to do that. If Anwar don't get banned, then shame on PSC. Manolo, yeah, you have a point. And I would say it's not a question just of a ban. For me, it has to be 4 to 6 months. All these people who are defending it, it's against the interest of a player earning the money. If I see the money that East Bengal is putting on the table for him, right? I mean, if it will be a proper fine and everything added up, East Bengal will be spending on about or even more than 35 crores on this player, right? Over a 5-year contract, which would then mean you're spending about 7 crores on him on average per year. Makes, in my opinion, no sense at all for an Indian footballer. So if anyone tells me, oh, you know what, he's earning, he's doing, I'm securing his future, blah, blah, blah. Listen, even 50 lakhs would secure an Indian footballer's future. These guys come from a situation where they had nothing, right? And who tells me that he's not going to blow the money like many footballers around the world have done? So don't come with that crap, Hi, Iko on loan. Mayank asks, any idea who Manolo might play as a striker for Indian national team? I think he will go with Pep's 2021 false 9 4-3-3. Mayank, let's wait and see. Let Manolo finalize on his team. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. I'm not sure. As I said yesterday, Manveer to me looks to me the only logical choice as a natural number 9. Everybody else is a potential false number 9 in that team. Tomorrow, interesting matches, but waiting for BFC 1. KC Creations, let's see. Again, Mohun Bagan, Supergiant versus Punjab FC, and then, of course, Bengaluru FC versus Kerala Blasters. So yes, should be an interesting match day tomorrow that is coming up. Well, nearly 10 minutes gone, guys. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't, please do subscribe to arunfoot here on YouTube. 1,500 people at the moment on it. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's keep growing the community, and also do, if you think the content I'm producing is good and you like it, do leave a like, share it with others who could potentially have interest and join us. 7 likes so far, so please do that. And earlier today, of course, I did a video on the draw in the AFC Challenge League. So do have a look at that as well if you like. So thank you very much as such. So today, Ashish Negi said there's been some problems going on in the U20 and something bad happened during the camp. Also, selection was questionable. I have heard hints. I'm not sure if they are true. So I can't speculate on something which I have not gotten confirmed information. Yes, there were talks about the Ranjan Chaudhary selection. Many people were not happy with it, or many players were not happy with it, but I've got no confirmation of it. Hi Blue, welcome back. The best ball playing goalkeeper at the moment is Lachempa, but I wonder why he was not picked. Kite is good, but he's a stopper. Mank, again, old discussion. Who is your number 3? Never ending. Looks difficult for East Bengal to get past this group. I even doubt they will defeat PAOK or not. Paro, not PAOK. PAOK is a Greek club, PAOK Saloniki. Icon non. Yeah, okay. You were an autocorrect most probably. Yeah, it looks difficult. I don't think that this is an easy, and especially how East Bengal is played. So therefore, let's wait and see. What happened to Hyderabad and Mohammedan? Any updates about them playing ISL still now? Hyderabad FC at the moment, the same as with Mohammedan Sporting is a different case. Of course, the investors come in, but again, the investor has not done the commitments, I guess, that they need to do for the ISL to clear their name and to take them into the league. So that seems to be a situation. That's one of the things. So let's wait and see. But for me, Hyderabad looks difficult, honestly. There might be a takeover, but I don't know how they're going to, let's wait and see. Also, Bashundara have 409 foreigners. Yep, the number of foreigners is something which is which is a worry, of course, as well. How's your health? Alles gut. Mine better, not fully fit yet, but I think I need another 2-3 days, but hopefully by the weekend, so let's wait and see. Karam, so I'm better. I wasn't well earlier this week, but I'm better now, Karam. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing fine as well. Neeraj Chopra, an action tried in Wanda Diamond League. Yes, the Diamond League is happening in Switzerland today. Fun fact, FCB player Fermin Lopez earns less than Anwar Ali. That's the crazy one, huh? With this Carlos gameplay, East Bengal will suffer against Vasundhara Kings. I think East Bengal will suffer with a lot of teams if they play like this as they have, I think from next season, the ISL League winner should be given ACL 2 spot, second spot should be given the qualifying spot. See, Icon Loan, the logic behind handing out continental positions is the reality is that the first spot normally goes to the league champions. I think that's a rule around the world. And the second spot theoretically goes to the team who becomes cup winners. So in this case, that's the Super Cup. If you or let's say an I-League team won the Super Cup, the I-League team would play in the Super Cup. So therefore, as I said, if I like it, if you like it, or if anybody else likes it, doesn't matter. It's something something which is very, very important, and therefore which is there, which is a rule around the world. So yeah, we'll have to live with it. Really enjoyed atmosphere in Shillong yesterday. Nothing against East Bengal. This is what makes football special. Money cannot guarantee you a win, but grit and determination do. Yeah, Karam. I think in the Northeast, if the teams get the proper support, we've seen that in Manipur with Niroka and Trao in the past, or even the Indian national team last year in the Tri-Nation. We've seen that in Aizawl. I've experienced it, especially in the small Lamual Stadium, the Air Lamual ground in Aizawl, which sadly has a bad pitch. Otherwise, smaller but compact, 5,000 people, great atmosphere. I've heard other people as well that matches in Arunachal have had support. So therefore, there are pockets where football fans are interested in Indian football. So yeah, these do exist. Kilna was reporting something right, but until let's, as I said, I've heard a few things, nothing confirmed as such. So yeah, there seems to be some problem. And I guess the AFF at some stage needs to wake up to reality. They need to make budgets available to sign foreign coaches. If they like it or not, I know Kalyan and certain other people are of the opinion we should give Indian coaches the chances. I don't think we have the right Indian coaches. They are the one or the other But again, most of them should not be coaching Indian national teams, men's or women. Sorry, that's another myth. I think someone needs to tell the coaches also, guys, get better, upgrade your methodology, your knowledge, the way you speak to people, how you address people, everything. Otherwise, not happening. All Ipswich Town players are earning less than 3 crores a year, and here is getting I don't know. Again, I've said this multiple times. Indian footballers are way overpaid, and then people ask players to go abroad. Why would an Indian footballer go abroad? I mean, I've this whole Anwar story. I've been speaking with people abroad. People are laughing in my face now. I said, what is the whole package? I said, this is the package, and if finds this and that, the club is willing to pay for it. And let's see. Hi, Mritunjoy, welcome. PSC should set an example. Shushanto, the PSC's missed a chance already. They should have never issued an NOC. I think it should not be in their jurisdiction to issue an NOC. I think that was, in my opinion, was a mistake by the PSC. But again, that's my personal opinion on that. And now let's see what they do. How do you see Neeraj Chopra as an athlete? Manolo, exceptional, right? Again, one of those guys who's achieved. Of course, he's had support here and there, but sheer will and desire. Unfortunately, Manvi is not a good final third player. He does not have a good first touch and shooting skills. I've seen him hitting sixes on many occasions, more often than not for the past 2 years. Mank, but then who are the better, better strikers? And that is the problem, I see the Japanese signing of PARFC dominating Indian players. That could be a danger. Neither East Bengal can defend nor can they play on counters. What's their style of play? I don't ask the coach. I think, and if I see, Carlos is already under pressure. If he loses 1 or 2 or 3 matches at the start of the ISL season, the fans will be gunning for his head. Because for the first time, East Bengal actually have not only a decent, but a good squad, which should be a candidate for top 6. But at the moment they're playing, as we've seen, they struggle against a mid-table I-League team. Right? And that's worrying. The East Bengal has quality this year. There is no compromise on that fact that they have quality. Hi, Amal, welcome back. Now, would you think there's something wrong with East Bengal club culture? They spend so much money, but things aren't moving as fans desire. On top of that Anwar issue, which was avoidable, I don't get it. Abhijit, this whole thing has come out of desperation of the club officials, of the fans, because they're not willing to accept that it takes time. I said that last year, that you will need 2-3 years to be a top ISL team. They wanted to do it in 1. Of course, they've signed great players, but they've overpaid on every player. Every player is way, way overpaid at the moment. This Anwar issue was also avoidable. You were desperate for a centre back. You fell into the trap, and you've signed a player. And I don't know if the PSC takes normal decisions, they will get a 1 or 2 window transfer ban. Any update on Mumbai City FC any new signings? Andrades, nothing at the moment. So can you give us inside news from meeting from your sources? Manolo, there is nothing much to say. The hearing was held. It was an extended hearing. The PSC will convene, will discuss. I think some of you will have seen that parts of Anwar's contract with East Bengal have been made public today. So that is another topic which will, I guess, come up with, what kind of clauses there are. So therefore, that will make it very, very interesting to see how they will manage that situation. Because if some of the stuff is really true, then it makes it very, very tough for them to defend that contract in any way. So that's going to be a challenge for them, and it'll be very interesting to see how they get out of it. Do you think that Super League Kerala would surpass ISL in terms of quality? Kohli, I don't think so. It's a local league. It might be in the first year, it might create a lot of interest. But if you see the players that they've signed, they've not signed the best Indian players. They've signed a lot of over-the-hill foreigners to make up numbers. Looks a bad copy of the original ISL, and I can say that because I was part of the original ISL. I had DFC appointed Swiss lawyers who fought in CAS previously. Yeah, some of the people have appointed. Yeah. Let's see. Manvir se ball to control hoti nahi, Ghanta goals marega. Icon Loan, yes, but he's one of the last 2 players to score for India. That's what you're forgetting. Which it says, do you think in the football venues running tracks can be inside the pitch as opposed to outside? How do you mean by inside the pitch? Running tracks are always outside of the pitch. Should East Bengal change their coach? I feel that PFC coach last season would be a great fit. Icon Loan, I think that question, if they are not successful, will be asked. So if the Greek coach is a good option or not, we'll have to see. Do you know which domestic player is KFC trying hard to sign? Amal, they have been trying to do a swap deal with Mohun Bagan. They were after Abhishek Suryavanshi. They wanted Abhishek Suryavanshi for Pritam Kotal. Mohun Bagan does not want to release the player. So therefore, I don't know if they're going to do a swap deal or not. That was the whole conversation. I don't know if it's about this player or if there's another player. I know that they're also trying a foreign striker. They've had a lot of players on their lists. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of signings KBC does, because again, KBC does not want to pay inflated prices, and I think that's hurting them a little bit in the current market scenario. Club losing lots of money, so players' contracts should given preference. Shushanto, I think that's the question at some stage someone needs to ask the clubs. You are losing 20, 30, 40, 50 crores. You are paying players who I wouldn't value at more than 50, 60 lakhs, 3, 4, 5 crores nowadays. Are you willing to cut your costs? Or does the central system have to decide it for you? That will be a question coming up, right? And that will be interesting once that comes up, because clubs have long-term contracts. It will be interesting to see if Anwar Ali has a 5-year contract and in 2 years the rule comes in, salary cap, every contract into a salary cap. What happens then? Other parts of the story would be if next year, let's say Reliance pulls out. What happens to this contract? East Bengal will not be able to keep this contract alive. So there are a lot of questions around Indian football. People are talking about the next 4 or 5 years. I'm interested in the next 10 months. Let us get to June 2025, and then we will know where we stand. Does the ISL go into a season 12? Does FSDL still remain a partner of the AFF? Will Indian football actually collapse? Right? And these things make it more likely to happen, because what is Indian football producing? One bad news after another. Rarely does Indian football at the moment produce good news. I am fed up of this negative cycle. I would love to report about something positive and speak about something positive, but we are only talking about negatives. What do you expect from Odisha women in AFC Women's Champions League? Roshan, very difficult to say because they've not trained properly together. I would say they've trained, but they've not played any competitive matches. The players wanted too much money. They've got some of the best Indians. Can they compete? I honestly don't know. Roshan, I don't know if what you think. Looks tough in my opinion. Do you think PSC has been compromised? Don't think so. I mean, if PSC has been compromised, this case goes to FIFA, and the FIFA Players Tribunal will rectify it. Hello, Nava sir. What do you make of Northeast United FC ongoing Durand Cup campaign? The new striker Guillermo looks promising. No doubt he played less openers mostly. What's your take on him? Anurag, I've not seen anything of the Durand Cup in the sense I've just seen highlights. So I think that's very difficult to make a judgment. Northeast United FC have calmly, quietly made it into the semi-finals. So that's, I think, a first good achievement. Again, it's a Benali team, right? They're getting the results. Jitin MS seems to be one of the players who seems to be one of the most dangerous. So let's wait and see what happens. Sir, what will be your decision? Sack Quadrat or no? I wouldn't have signed him last year, but that's a different conversation. I know you have problems with Durand Cup format. Positives of doing stories like Hami, who should play in I-League, I think, or Lajong, right? It's a positive story, but again, if I want to turn it around and want to talk about the negatives, again, it's too long. And the army again, if the army wants to play in the league, let them do whatever other countries have. There are army teams. The Air Force from Iraq is playing continental competition. They have fulfilled the criteria. The army doesn't want to do that. The PSCs don't want to do that, right? Public sector units, sorry, PSUs don't want to do that. So do the right things and then play in the system. So your thoughts on PFC foreign signings? Karam, I would say that Punjab FC calmly, quietly have put together a very, very good squad, right? So for me, I mean, of course, they've lost Stikos and they've got now Panagiotis, Peris. Sorry, I just have to look up the name. I'm forgetting his name all the time. So therefore, that's one. They've retained Luka Machin in the end, which I thought was a very smart move. Luka Machin, to me, has been a key striker for them. They've signed Mushaga Bakenga from Norway. Interested to see how he does. Interesting player. Novoselic as a defender. And Filip Mirisliak. So therefore, interesting mix. Can they do what they need to? I'd be interested to see. Yeah, I think it's an interesting squad, and I think they will learn also the lessons from last season. East Bengal first season squad was good, and they did play good despite the results. I think Robbie Fowler was a good coach. Should have given time to him. Oh no, icon loan. See, that's where I would disagree, and I know enough insights where people said, "Listen, the guy doesn't have a clue." But again, let's not get into that. How small were the player contracts money-wise before ISL compared to now? Do you think revenue of ISL clubs compared to I-League clubs of past go at the same rate as players' contracts in the past 10 years? RS, no. The players' contracts in India have been growing. I mean, we were talking about lakhs when the NFL started. We moved from lakhs to higher, double-digit lakhs with the I-League, and then in 2012, 13, the first 1 crore plus contract was signed in the I-League days. The contracts for Indian players, the Indian players' payments have been too high for a while. Early 2000s, I said, early 2000s. So therefore, for me, the salaries has been an issue. For the standard of football we dish out, if you want Indian players to go out, let's see what happens. As Negi said, Mohanbagan's rigid and not willing to let Tangri and Abhishek go to Kerala. Do you think we can get our ex-captain back after this? Blue, let's wait and see what kind of deal these two clubs can make. You've got over a week to go, and therefore let's wait and see. Where to watch Bandotkar football tournament? Oh, did I read it somewhere where it's going to be shown? I know that globally it's been shown on FIFA Plus. I don't know where it's going to be shown in India. 1 second. Is there any info on that? Did I read something about it? Let me not tell you something wrong. No, I can't. If someone knows, please let me know. I don't know where in India. I know that FIFA Plus is showing it on a global platform, but I don't know where it is going to be shown in India. As emotionally volatile the Bengal club cultures of Anwar East Bengal relationship goes south, do you think things can get quite ugly? Anwar's jealousy can give rise to jealousy of other East Bengal teammates. The Anwar thing, again, on one side, as an individual for him or for any other player, I'm happy that they're getting the money, right? But in the big scheme of things and the reality of what things are, it's not good, because he's going to be in the dressing room with teammates who will be earning 1/20th or less than 1/20th, who might be performing, who might be playing with him, for him, I don't know. So this is something which can get odd. There are national team players who thought last year, wow, we've got great contracts with East Bengal. We're now thinking, what the hell did we do? Right? The Anwar's feeling after seeing Apuya's contract. So this is a cycle that these clubs have started that they're not in control of. That's the real problem. Yes and no, the same opponents of the Asian women's teams are during the season. Roshan, that's the first thing to me. And again, yeah. And will be difficult. I think so as well. Do you think FSD are going to pull out of the investment? Blue, I have at the moment no clue. There is no conversation on it. You have to wait and see what happens. At the moment, there is no clarity what could and what will happen at the moment. I'm not sure if FSD wants to stay, wants to go. What the AFF wants to, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And this is something, final Northeast Derby at JLN. Yeah, on a great news today. Wise news from the Durand Cup organizers to hold the first semi-final of the Durand Cup between Northeast United and Shillong Lajong FC in Lajong, and sorry, not Lajong, in Shillong, sorry, in Shillong at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. So that's good news for the fans over there. So sold out crowd, Northeast Derby. Yeah, gonna be a great one. So real test. Juan Ferrando or Kodrap, whom would you choose? Blue, if it was up to me, I would choose none of them, but for different reasons, right? So some of these Bengal AFC Challenge League group. Minmo, I've done a video on that if you want to watch it in more detail. In short, I'll tell you, not the toughest, but it's tricky. If the running tracks are inside the pitch perimeter, then spectators can be a bit closer, as the running tracks and the central pitch are almost never used together. Can it be done? No, it can't be, because the running track has to be of a certain length, right? It can't be, if you do it on the pitch, first of all, your pitch gets spoiled, right? Because people will be running on it. And secondly, running on an on a synthetic turf, on a synthetic running, what do you call it? Yeah, on a synthetic ground is something different than running on grass or on artificial turf or whatever. Good group for East Bengal to beat Al Najme. Banjab, I don't think so. I think Basundara and Paro at home, I think that's going to be dicey. Sportscast in YouTube and India. Oh, thanks. So Bandotkar Cup, to those guys of you who were asking, it's going to be on Sportcast on YouTube in India. FIFA Plus is showing it around the world. Sharon said PC should consider the player contract properly. There are few investors in football. Their interests should be protected like players. Yeah, but it's not happening, right? Why is Bandotka football tournament happening in so odd time? Blue, that's a question to ask the Goa government as well as the Goa Football Association. No national team player can play. Yeah, that's right. Why Bhutan chosen as host? Ogni, there were, the there were options to say, listen, I want to host. And Paro said, you know what, not Paro FC, but the Bhutan FA together with the club said, we can host it in Bhutan. And I know that the AFC Challenge League is something which they want to spread out across Asia. So if you see, let me just check once where they've put all the hosting. So, okay, so Bhutan hosts Group A, Kuwait hosts Group B, Oman hosts Group C, Malaysia hosts Group D, and Mongolia hosts Group E. So there are, two teams where I'd say, hey, two venues which are sort of unusual, which is Bhutan and Mongolia, where normally you wouldn't see any hosting of groups. I guess Bhutan National Stadium will also have a packed crowd like Northeast. I guess first time they have qualified this stage. Ogni, there used to be some other tournament. Don't ask me what it was. Third tier of Asian club football in the past, and their Bhutan teams have played in the past. And of course, they've played in qualifiers for the AFC Cup as well. Challenge to be faced by playing in Bhutan? Well, the height, the elevation certainly is the first thing that comes to my mind. I think that's going to be a challenge for East Bengal Football Club because you're going to be forced to play at a height which is unusual to you. You're not used to playing at the elevation that Thimphu is in, and therefore that's something that they'll have to adjust. And again, it comes during the ISL season, so this is something which is something. Let me just check at what elevation Thimphu is. 1 second. Elevation at 2,320 meters. That makes a difference. The oxygen levels are different, all that stuff. So the outstation teams won't be very easy for them. So therefore, East Bengal will be becoming of a busy schedule. 3 matches in 7 days could be challenging. How do leagues in other countries make their league financially stable where football is more popular, like China, Australia, USA, Canada, etc.? All teams in those leagues are making losses too. Alice, if you ask me that way, US, Canada, for example, it is dependent on television money. The main driver of football leagues around the world is television money, but it's also that the investment that the investors make. In America, for example, you ensure, for example, David Beckham needed so long to establish Inter Miami because he had to make a $250 million investment into a football ground, $250 million investment. And he was not finding land in and around Miami to do that. So it took him a few number of years to get that project sanctioned and cleared. So there are no shortcuts, right? And therefore, China, it's different. China, huge investment was made. I know people make that comparison between India and China, which is ridiculous because the Chinese spend X times more on their football because their investors were willing to spend more. But Chinese television was also spending money on the Chinese Super League, which in India, no television channel is actually paying any substantial amount of money for football rights. Some local leagues are getting money here and there, but that is non-existent because the federations are not sharing it with their respective clubs. And the ISL, the I-League, IWL, I-League 2, I-League 3, none of it makes money at the moment. Can you explain where Fernando lacked in Mohun Bagan? He was good in Goa, also led Etiquette to third position from 7th into one ISL Cup. What happened last season? Only pressure or something else? I think with him, it's managing a team. If it's a working team, he'll come in, he'll do. He expects a lot from his players. But I think he made a few mistakes last summer in regard to releasing players. I think he should have never released Pritham Kotal and he should have never released Carl McHugh. That I think those two players were the difference makers. Paro has 11 foreigners, sir. Can you tell me how many are eligible to play? I think Challenge League, you're not allowed to play a full foreign squad. If I was right, I think that you are allowed, I think, was it 6 or was it 9? Wait. Let me just check once. It was created. 1 second. I have to find the rules on the AFC platform. Let me just log in once. I would have to find out. I'm not aware of it, Ogni. But I don't think you can play all your foreigners. Which is the RJ Kaur incident. We see a lot of politics and demand of justice, but we're not blaming ourselves. Okay, it's at Montes to begin with. We only pay attention to problem after it's too late, like Olympics. Yeah, but again, and that incident that happened to that woman, that terrible, terrible, terrible thing that happened to that woman, is happening. Is happening to other women while we speak. So therefore, yeah, it's very sad, very, very sad. Can Anwar Ali play ACL in future or difficult if FIFA FC steps? Done. I think he's done. In the future, he can surely play. Let's see what kind of I mean, why shouldn't he not be allowed to play ACL? Also, sir, AstroTurf might be an issue. Yeah, Ogni, AstroTurf could be an issue. It's a different kind. I said the ball will bounce differently than you're used to. To me, those are all sort of factors which we need to factor in when we talk about things. So therefore, for not only for East Bengal but for any team to go there and play is not going to be easy, right? So therefore, that's going to be a thing. Do you find the ecosystem is missing in Indian football? That's why we can't produce quality player. If we have good ecosystem, do you think we can produce quality player? Morally, the question is not of a good ecosystem. There are countries which are producing great players and their ecosystem is rubbish. So it's not about the ecosystem. By chance product. I mean, if India produced, I don't know, Skarajvelia, Holland, Portugal had Eusebio, and then they had to wait for decades to get a Ronaldo, right? If we had that kind of a player, it would change in 5 seconds. And nobody would give a damn of the system. Everyone, suddenly India would be the in thing and suddenly we would be part of the global football world. So these are the realities. 4-hour long PSC meeting, anything unusual happening? Ogni, I think it was very detailed. I think it gave an opportunity to East Bengal and to Delhi FC to prove their points that they wanted to get across. And yeah. And to me, it's something which, this is an interesting, complex case. So I'm not surprised it's taking too long. The PSC themselves will also deliberate on the matter. I don't know. Let's wait and see. But again, it's going to be, tomorrow is going to be decisive in regard to decision that they come out with. Because if they don't take the decision that makes sense for any of the sides, it goes to FIFA and then the carnival continues. Why Vikram is not in India's squad? The unknown, he is injured. Due to injury, Vikram and Brandon are out of the squad. Is there any chance East Bengal could come into quarter semi-finals in Challenge League? Utsav, I'm not sure. Very honestly, it is a very interesting and very tricky group. Nejme in itself, can be difficult. I think Basundara Kings would be my favorite actually in this group to win it. And Paro at home, I think, should also not be forgotten. And if East Bengal play the way they're playing at the moment, then I think we should not be talking about things, right? So therefore, that's the thing that I see it. Hi, Sanskar. I'm okay. I was not well earlier this week, but now I'm feeling better. I'm not perfect yet, but better. Can we beat Syria? The unknown, why not, would be my answer. But, Manolo and the players would have to give me that confidence that we can beat Syria. And they will have to prove that to me. Sorry. Right. 45 minutes through. Those of you who might be new to the channel, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to arunfoot. We crossed the 1500 mark yesterday. We are at 1501. Thank you to all of you who are following this channel, we're part of this community. Let's grow. And we have so far, let me just check once. 1, 2, 3, 26 likes on the video. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. Let's keep it growing. Keep it moving. Thanks a lot, everyone. As always, for the support. In the 30 crore, if East Bengal spend smartly, maybe they can get 6 crore 5 or 5 crore 6 players in the annual deal. Yeah, potentially. Imagine if PFC beat Mohun. What will your reaction? Sanskar, as I've worked in building Round Glass Punjab or helped building Round Glass Punjab, I would be very happy. Right? So, to me, PFC look a good team. Mohun Bagan still unsettled, so playing in Jamshedpur, they're not playing in Kolkata, so therefore, who knows? So how much is the role of weather to build grass turf? Is it a drawback because we're in tropical regions where summer, winter rain is extreme? It depends how you build your ground. If you've got the perfect drainage, if you've got the perfect potential cover and other things that you can create for such grounds, you can maintain a ground anywhere. I mean, look at the cricket grounds in India. Look at the golf turfs in India. They are amongst the best in the world. So if someone tells me you can't create and maintain a football ground, no, it's just a matter of the right greenkeeper and willing to spend money on it. Simple as that. Do you think Rahim Ali should be in India's squad? The unknown, to me, yes. I felt and I still feel and I believe Rahim Ali should have been in the India squad. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. PC meeting more like Samosa Tea Party. Utsav, I think everything but that. I think that the PSC heard all sides today, and that was why it took long. And they most probably did what I understand, cross-interrogation and other questions as well. It's a very complex case on one side. On the other side, I feel is that, the infos were there on day one. I said from day one what I still say today. It's very clear cut. The player has broken the contract. You've said that. Unjust termination, right? It is clearly mentioned what has to be taken. I know some people are looking at the AFF documentation of player transfers and all and seem to read 3 lines and understand everything. Congratulations. But to me, from the start, 4 to 6 months ban on Anwar. Anwar has to pay 8 to 10 crore compensation to Mohun Bagan, has to pay a certain fine to Mohun Bagan. Delhi FC, East Bengal both get 2 transfer window bans. Both have to pay a fine. Both have to also pay some sort of compensation to Mohun Bagan, which would have to make up. Now we know the contract details. That could have been something hefty. And it should be done. It should have been done in such a way that other clubs would not try and work this way. Because if you don't take the right decision, you don't announce the right decision in regard to the order whenever it comes out, the PSC opens a Pandora's box. Club contracts are worth nothing. Do you think Syria became very tough to beat because of inclusion of PIO player? I agree. Without having proper ecosystem, still play. Good example, Syria. It's a combination of your local and foreign players. Yeah, PIOs certainly helped. And in this case, PSOs. Do you think Rahim Ali and Kenasi didn't step up or injury consistency missing? Both are individual cases. Kian for me is still a talent. I think he needs to prove on a regular basis that he's capable of playing at the top level. Rahim, to some extent, has shown that. But Rahim also needs to be more consistent. But yeah, both step up. In place of Manvir, coach should go for Gurkirat. The unknown, how do you say that? How much time has, how much time has Gurkirat played? How many goals has Gurkirat scored in the ISL? He's not ready for international football at top level. You know, we have to be honest about which players we want to represent India in a national team shirt. You know, so that's something which we need to talk about, which we need to discuss, right? And you know, it's going to be interesting to see because um, I know a lot of people call for a lot of players, but they're not ready for international football, and the Indian national team is not something where trial and error thing, right? You might try out players who have proven that they could potentially play at international level, but I can't take players who's not even proven that they are able to play in the ISL on a regular basis. What happened to Rajasthan United once upon a time? Beat Mohun, now gone where? They're still there. They're an I-League team, Sanskar. They've gone nowhere. They're still there. So has any idea when the order might come? Navneet, no idea. I just heard it will come tomorrow. I'm sure that the PSC is sitting together and deliberating on matters, you know, and let's wait and see. You know, let's see what happens. Do you think Hazard retirement biggest shock or injury destroyed him? If injury not happened to him, he would be legend. I think so. You never know. Maybe the transfer to Real Madrid was a mistake. If Lajong qualifies for ISL, what difficulties will they have to face before even starting their camp? And do you think they should go about solving those problems? Abhijit, the first issue would be finance. Second would be some infrastructural things. I don't think they can get even close to playing ISL, if one is very honest. Fan culture is nice to have, but to play in a corporatized league, you have to fulfill certain levels of criteria. And Lajong would fail in certain. Look at Punjab FC. Because of those, has to play in Delhi and can't play in or close to Punjab. Panchkula, the ground doesn't fulfill it. Ludhiana doesn't fulfill it. Amritsar doesn't fulfill it. These are all realities which are there. So therefore, as lovely as it is to see the success of Shillong Lajong last night, to see that fan culture, you know, for example, we have great fan culture in Kolhapur, but can you establish a professional team to play at the top level? You know, no, you can't. These are realities. Aizawl, Imphal are not potential ISL venues, right? That's why Northeast United, the idea behind Northeast United was to unite the Northeast. My prediction, Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan, FC Goa, Odisha FC, Chennai FC, BFC or Kerala Blasters FC, Northeast United, Punjab FC, East Bengal. Okay. But that's not all ISL teams, Sanskar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. But Nandu always hits a 6. The unknown, what does Gorkirat do? How many goals has he scored? Where does this logic come from, right? Yeah. Do you think ISL should loosen their stadium criteria? No, I don't think so. Because you need that for broadcasts and other things. And try and get the equipment up to Shillong. Get the equipment in and out of Shillong. Many issues. I've done it myself for a Hoffenheim game. Getting equipment from Kolkata to Aizawl took 72 hours. So how many clubs can represent India in next AFC Cup tournaments? 2. It's 1+1. It's the League Shield winners of the ISL as well as the Super Cup or Federation Cup winners, whoever that is. So that would be. So I had a question on structures. You've told about wanting the top division smaller. Do you think we could have I-League bigger, especially since most teams don't seem to have difference in quality? The question is not bigger. My question, there is a massive difference in quality at some stage because the problem in my opinion is our talent pool, right? We have a talent pool problem for the ISL. We have a talent pool problem also in the I-League. Can you accommodate, let's say, 20 teams in the I-League with the talent that we currently have? Right? So I would rather make it difficult to be in the ISL and the I-League, even to some extent in the second I-League 2, and then rather have uh, maybe the I-League 3 should be the one which is growing bigger. I don't know, but there needs to be, we can't bloat up the top tiers just to say, listen, we've got this number and that numbers. You're saying certain players are not ready for international football. Do you think lack of game time is the main reason why they are not ready, or ISL match they didn't prove? Both. It could be lack of game time. It could be also that they didn't prove in the ISL to me that they are ready for international football. Very simple. Larger type of teams will fall in the ISL because of less backup Indian players or injury main player or due to financial issue. To me, Sanskar, the question doesn't arise. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It is not a question. Teams like Lajong, Aizawl, Real Kashmir will not be in a position to play ISL with the bank guarantees. Who's going to give them a 100 crore bank guarantee to play ISL? How do you rate ISL stadiums? Good average, can we host an ACL match or certain renovation needed? Most of the ISL stadiums are good. The problem stadiums are Kantirava in Bangalore and Nehru Stadium in Kochi. Those are the ones, Goa has hosted Champions League. Mumbai couldn't host. The Mumbai Football Arena doesn't have didn't fulfill certain criteria, so they had to play in Balewadi and then DY Patil. Kolkata has hosted matches in the AFC Cup. Bhubaneswar did. So yeah, we've got multiple stadiums. I want Manvir to be aggressive and confident because sometimes he seems very lazy. See, and that's the problem. He seems, right? Maybe his body languages, but knowing Manvir a little, Manvir is a fighter and he tries his best. Maybe it doesn't work out, but at least he tries. What was your reaction? Shillong beat so-called national club, oldest club of the India. Sanskar, they beat East Bengal, and East Bengal are not the oldest club or national club of India. That is Mohun Bagan. So one correction. What was my reaction? On one side, I was surprised, but seeing East Bengal last week play, they were terrible. And on the other side, Lajong at home has been always a problem for outstation teams, also for big teams. Does Jitin MS deserve a chance? The unknown, we have too many wingers. So Jitin MS, Isaac Ralte, all these guys are unlucky that that's one position where we don't seem to have a problem. Who will start? Anwar, Sana, Beke out of 2-3 centre backs. Anwar at the moment is not even playing, so I don't know what state Anwar is. To me, Beke and Sana most probably. I-League broadcasting are there in Northeast, why I still can adjust a bit, and passionate Northeastern fans feel discrimination like Aizawl. It is not about. Do you see the I-League broadcast? Can you compare it to the ISL broadcast? See, there is the ISL has come in and tried to set a certain standard of how to organize, run the league, and again, I remember in the first year it was difficult for most to try and build on those things that the league wanted one to do, but all in the end agreed and did what was needed, and it was the right thing to do. And I still think it is right. And if you look at the I-League broadcasts, I've done the I-League broadcast 2 years ago. It's a joke. Sorry. It's a joke what they do and call as a broadcast. Right? That is the reality. There are people sometimes sitting at home and doing it. Right? You said Thai League is better than ISL. New Thailand has edge over India, or the Gulf is different class. Your thoughts? See, I said the Thai League is better. With national teams, it's sometimes different. I would say at the moment, Thailand would be also better than us as a national team. Yeah. If passionate clubs get promoted to ISL, what should we do? Stop them from playing? No, Abhijit. It is also about commercial interests. There are people who are spending money, huge sums of money, and there are others who are not in a position to do that. That's why you have, when we open up the system one day, not today, not tomorrow, but let's say in 10, 12 years, I don't know, and do it open, anyone can go up and down. Then the system needs to be strong enough. But the system is not strong enough. If an Lajong comes in, if an Aizawl comes in, it dilutes the value of the ISL. And as many fans as might turn up, look at how many fans turn up at Aizawl matches in the in the I-League these days. Neroka Trao used to be full in the first years when they played. Shillong Lajong used to be full when they initially used to play. This last night is not the usual scenario of a Lajong match. The semi-final against Northeast United will not be a normal Lajong match. Lajong had great crowds last season, but the numbers were what? 3,000, 3,500? Oldest club in Sindh, the fans say the club is oldest. The fans don't say the oldest. The club is from 1920. The other clubs are much, much older. So therefore, there's no consideration, Sanskar. So considering a Northeast team is confirmed in final, would you consider if played there if Mohun gets knocked out? I would think, Navneet, that would make sense. If Mohun Bagan lose to Punjab FC, I think the final should happen in Shillong. Would be greater for the Durand Cup. And with all that is happening in Kolkata, Mohun Bagan might be better to do it there, to be very honest. Do you think East Bengal FC could easily go through this group? For Fiction Nerd, where do you believe that? No chance. Did you see East Bengal play yesterday? Did you see East Bengal playing last week? Let them settle down. Let's get to mid-October, post the pujas, post Durga Puja, and then we'll see where East Bengal stands. And then let's think about how, if and how they can do that. Hi, Chandu. Any latest update on Anwali case? The hearing was done over 4 hours. Let's wait and see. I think the PSC themselves will convene, discuss, and then they will most probably make an announcement tomorrow. Do you think Sana is surprising in the squad? How do you rate Sana technical physicality? No, I'm not surprised. He should have been there earlier. He's overall Indian standards decent player. I want Shillong to go to the ISL. Their fan support was crazy, but the inter-country team looked good. The unknown, again, let's wait and see. But again, yesterday was not a usual match for Lajong. Whom do you think will start as a number 9? Fast food, if I see what he has, either it will be a false 9, it might be, I don't know, might be even a Changte. Or he might, or Manveer. Manveer playing from 2020 season, still not improving or doing good basic thing, even after playing 4 seasons in a row for one club. Sanskar, the basics were very difficult to get better at that age. You have to try and get the most. You have to squeeze something out of him. That's it. In AFC Challenge League, why only 4 teams are going for quarters? Because that's the rule. 4 teams from the West, 4 teams from the East. The East has 6. So it's relatively easy that, 4 out of 6. And in the West, it's 4 out of 12. Do you think financial muscle power matters a lot in ISL? If other clubs, same as Mumbai and backing, do you think they can create impact? There are other teams creating impact with less money. Mumbai City is not spending as much as Mohun Bagan. Odisha and Goa are not spending as much. Kerala Blasters are not spending as much. So you can, yeah. If these remote and passionate clubs with poor infrastructure gets promoted to what ISL should do. Abhijit, as I told you, they can't get promoted. They have certain financial criteria that these clubs, infrastructure criteria, these clubs can't fulfill. The ISL has been built as a league for metro, tier 1, worst case, tier 2 cities. Coach should host next season Durand Cup. Why every time Kolkata only? It's unfair for other clubs to play. Sanskar, it's because, and it's not only Kolkata, it's Kolkata this year, Jamshedpur has been there, Assam, Shillong. It's the East and the Northeast. The others don't want to host. Why do you think East Bengal is finding it really hard to compete in ISL? Because East Bengal is not settled. They came in. Mohun Bagan had a simple transition from the I League to the ISL. They became part of the ATK empire, right? And that settled down things, and they've worked on that, and they've moved forward from that. So therefore, that's the biggest advantage that East Bengal had to create a team out of nowhere when they came in. They've lost their corporate partner on the way. Didn't have a team, had to create a team. These are all things that take time. And East Bengal has done a lot of things wrong over the last 3 years. I would say they've done a lot of things right this year, but they're still not there where they, I think, need to be. Right. So let's see. Why only 4 teams are qualifying for quarter from Western while having so many teams? Because that's the setup that the AFC has done. And I don't know. Ask the AFC that question. Sorry, I don't know. Do you think the venue plays major role in hosting big event? If you said Kolhapur, no one expect to come. If in Kolhapur case core build infrastructure, Odisha, do you think they can host international venue? See, it will not happen overnight. But if Kolhapur, if you look at that stadium looks like a weird thing. I don't know if you guys have seen that stadium. It's yes, the local league has some interest, but even the Maharashtra State Association is not really showing interest for them. So you need to build something out there. What do you think? Which team will go to ISF from I-League this season? The unknown, I think it's going to be between Srinidhi Deccan and Interkashi. So an expectation style result on Manolo, especially for the Syria game, because coach gets more time with them. Navneet, I have no style. Again, get this style thing out of your head, because what style can Manolo create in a week or 10 days? Totally unrealistic. To me, Manolo needs to try and find his first 11. Manolo needs to then try and find his first 16 and then his first 20, 23, with which he thinks he can go into battle next year when we play the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. I don't care about style and result. Honestly, this is trying to find a team. And if they lose, but you see glimpses of, okay, this team could be going that way, I'm fine with that. This is a new era. So we have to be realistic on that front. Players playing for India is a Supreme Court decision, right? Can someone go to Supreme Court challenge decision? Can the court overrule it? Abhijit, it's not a Supreme Court issue. My understanding is it's an issue regarding nationality, in regard to allowing people without an Indian passport, but with, let's say, OCI card. I hold an OCI card. My old PIO card in 2006 had gone to FIFA. And theoretically, they said, yes, I could represent India as I prove as I am as someone of Indian origin. And that is being done by certain countries. So therefore, it's more of a will from desire from the government to allow people of Indian origin to represent India. Do you think change a player after 20 is in would be difficult for a player to change, or developing coach also cannot change? Your thoughts? Murali, again, this is a very generalizing question. I've been telling you this for days. Everyone is an individual. Someone will understand things and might become better. Someone will not understand things and not become better. Yeah, it depends on one individual. Why AFF not promoting football in North Bengal? Is very popular here and lots of tribal people are passionate about football. No scouting are done here. Kishore, the question is not for the AFF. Again, this should be rather a question for the IFA in brackets West Bengal. To me, it's called the IFA in the sense of, when it was founded, it was really the body to run football across India. Then the AFF was created later on. It's not even called the Bengal Football Association. And de facto, it is the Kolkata Football Association. And that is the problem of Bengal football. And that's why football in and around Kolkata is taken care of. But in further off places, you're naming North Bengal, good example. Yeah, they don't really bother that much, sadly. Mumbai City FC win more trophies in 4 years, even after spending less money compared to Mohun Bagan, Super Giant. I don't think finance is the only reason. Spending rightly is the main reason. That's why other clubs struggle in the ISL. Yeah, that's true. I don't think relying on POs will not help us in the long. I don't think relying on POs will not help us in the long run. I think POs will change the whole picture. It's something that I raised the topic first 23 years ago with the AFF. I raised it multiple times also with the governments. I spoke last time 2 years ago with the then sports minister about it. And I will raise it every time that I think there is something to be discussed. Because I think it will change because the national team becomes better. I think the Indian media will get a lot of interest with players who are, if we get the right guys on board, and it'll be interesting. So therefore, that's something. If Lajong wins I-League, I will be very sorry, buddy. Rich, only stay where you are, and Lajong will have to accept it. Yeah, Vijit. That's the rule of leagues around the world. You have to fulfill criteria, right? And it's not just an Indian thing, it's around the world. There have been teams who've been rejected from being allowed to being promoted, even though winning leagues. And it happens not in the top tier, but it happens very often in the third, fourth, fifth tier of football in Europe. I know that here locally in the fifth tier, the champions, Baumberg, didn't get promoted to the fourth tier because they couldn't fulfill their criteria for the license. So it happens. It's nothing out of the world. Buying Anwar is a good move or bad move? In this current scenario and the way that's being done, it's a terrible move. Way too much money spent. And again, I also mentioned the heart problem. The heart problem is also not getting away. Should also be kept in mind. I don't understand what East Bengal players did in the 1 month preseason when you can't beat I-League team. I don't understand what East Bengal players did in the 1 month preseason when you can't beat I-League team. Sanskar, very valid question, and that question needs to be asked to the coach. And I think that's the thing that's happening today in Kolkata. There are a lot of people asking, So let's see. When you approached my I-League club, did you expect a scenario broadcast where we joke you mentioned, or are you surprised? I knew that it was not going to be ISL standard, but I didn't think it would be, the way it was. And I've done it now a few times over the last 15 years, and broadcast in the I-League is nowhere near in the ISL. That's a day and night difference. Day and night difference. Also on data and stuff. I-League, I'm doing my own research. In the ISL, you're provided data sheets. So as someone who's, if these are questions that one should ask. I was an expert only. Someone like a Puloster would tell you that. Was a commentator, used to do I-League and now does ISL. Why Honda type of players not come in the ISL? Is it lack of foreign players scouting or any other reason? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why a Honda guy, Kaisuke Honda wasn't interested. I think Kaisuke Honda wants to do crazy things, special things. So let's see. KBFC versus BFC, MFC, BFC. What's your prediction? Mohun PFC upset. I wouldn't be surprised if Punjab could beat Mohun Bagan. And on the Blasters BFC, I think I would go with BFC. I think BFC looks stronger to me. So you must have thorough idea of divisions across Europe. Do you think Indian first team can win English third division League One? No. I think they will struggle even in the fifth tier National League. Just noticed that Honda is registered as a player for Paro FC. Yeah, he was. I don't know if he's going to play, but that would be crazy if Honda, who was a candidate to become an Indian national team coach, might play against East Bengal in the AFC Challenge League. I just think Jamshedpur FC should learn from Shillong type of club how to perform well in the cup matches. Sanskar, they need to play with their best team first. Again, they didn't play with their best team. So many Serie A players and Bundesliga players are less than Anwar Ali. Yeah, Nishan, that's the reality. So is there any chance that government make different dual national rule for football only? I wouldn't even say fast food for football. I think I would do it for sport because I think it would bring in some talent in other sports as well. And I think, that's something which you have. Do you think a franchise league will work in Bengal, whole Northeast? Is Cape football good or bad? Is AFF banning it? I worked over a decade back on a strategy to build a franchise league in Bengal. Didn't happen, sadly, at the time. There was another attempt before that also. Didn't happen for different reasons. I think the IFA and the Bengal government were not serious enough about it. Northeast not happening, Abhijit, with the problems in Manipur and Mizoram not playing together. Cape football is a nice part-time, but it's not good for pro football in the sense, I think IFA needs to take care of players who are playing in the CFL. I mean, you've had injuries to play. Mohammedan sporting player got seriously injured in Cape last season, so that's something that one needs to look at. So I remember football stadiums in second, third division clubs of Germany are probably better than stadiums in Iceland. How did Germany get such a situation? Clubs, private investment or government investment? The funny part in Germany now is that with some of the smaller clubs getting promoted to the Bundesliga, that some of the bigger stadiums are now in the second tier than in the top tier. So in some match days this season, in the second Bundesliga, you will have higher attendances than in the Bundesliga. Just to speak about sheer size and the quality. Listen, you've had, Germany just hosted the Euros. Stadiums are of a different quality, of a different standard. There is always government support in some sort of form or way. Clubs do it themselves. Investors come in. Big donors come in. So there are different ways and models of building stadiums, or you just loan, or clubs take a long-term loan and pay off, which again, a lot of the big clubs, Bayern Munich has done it, Tottenham, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona are doing it for the rebuild of their respective stadiums, or done it. Real is done, Barca is on the way. So yeah, that's how they do it in Europe. Why is Bengal is giving so much money to Anwar Ali? Why they also agreed to pay Anwar's fine with pays? But don't you think Bajaj just played a dirty game and both Kolkata are suffering? What's the mindset behind the deal? They both, if I could understand their mindset behind the deal, I would be a little ahead. My understanding of this whole deal is they were this season desperate to put a good team together, and they were lacking a good quality in their centre back. They tried a few. Alex Raji was one of the targets, who still hasn't been released by Hyderabad FC. Ranjit came around and said, "Hey, listen, do you want to take Anwar? Anwar is on the market. Take him." And they jumped at the chance. And and they were fooled into it. If you look at the money they're paying, it's just ridiculous. A footballer cannot repay you that much. Sorry, got disconnected. No footballer can repay you that money with performances. So therefore, I find that very difficult. Does I-League club also have academies? Some have, some don't have. Can ISL broadcast be done in limited budget? Can ISL take over youth development national team management for AFF? The broadcast of ISL is being done in less money than it was done in the past. That's one, but limited budget, I don't think so, because then you will realize how bad the quality is. The fans will then start saying, hey, listen, the quality is not good. It doesn't look good, this, that, everything. But the ISL cannot take over youth development national team management from the AFF. That remains with the federation. Honda being our national team coach and playing against East Bengal would have been an absolute ... Yeah, Navneet, it would have been fun. Do you think any football issue not sorted out? Instead, it is growing up, getting worse. Do you think all of them need to sit down and have a discussion of football, or ego doesn't allow? Murali, ego certainly is an issue, but who is the adult in the room who will tell the people of what needs to be done? Who is the person who has the knowledge and understanding and the will and the power to say, hey guys, sit down, let's talk. This is where we're going with this. Who is the one? Where is the vision? And that's again one of the realities. Who is the adult in the room to call the shots, to say what is going to be done, what needs to be done to change things for the future? So Madasi invested on 100 crore in their academy. Opinion on that? Nishant, I heard that. I've not seen the academy, so for me, I can't comment. I've just read some articles but never seen the facility. Do you think if PO include, do you think we will get global stage of football quickly, or still take time? Well, it depends on how the coach integrates the players, but I do think in the mid-term it could do. It looks like East Bengal players are not gelling well as a team. Mohun, yes, and they don't look fit. The more worrying thing is East Bengal players look unfit. But banning Cape football is bogus idea. It might be a bogus idea to you, but the thing is, do you want a professional career, or do you want to be part of Cape? Cape is not, it's like sevens in Kerala, right? That is not proper football. So either you are a real footballer or you're not. Some people were saying that if PIOs were allowed, Indian grassroots would stop producing players altogether, as good players would be supplied from elsewhere and no one would even ask them anything. Abhijit, if I want to find a reason for why I don't do this or why I don't do that, I will always find it. For me, PIOs are the long-term solution for our success, because if the Indian national team is more successful, more people will be interested, more money will be coming in. Then if more money comes in, the jokers who are running things at the moment might be out and proper people might be coming in willing to do things. That's the reality. What's your view on Kalyan? Fast food, I thought over the weekend when he stood up for the East Bengal Mohun Bagan fans, good work, Kalyan. But there are other things where I would say he's not done it well. Having now known him over 2 decades, I hope he does the right things, but sometimes I'm not of the same view as what he's done, what decision he's taken. Do you think building stadium in India is difficult, or land is a major issue because of the population due to it's hard to find stadium? Murali, in India, it's very, very difficult to build a stadium, and and land is there. I think it's not even a question of land. It's just, who's going to give you this higher there are so many problems, but and that's one of the biggest challenges. Therefore, most of the stadiums, or nearly most of the stadiums, are actually government owned. Is there bad blood between Manipur and Mizoram? Why Nagaland don't produce so much players in Manipur and Mizoram? Abhijit, maybe you've heard about the problems in Manipur, and that has spilled over into Mizoram. So therefore, there is that bad blood. And why Nagaland doesn't produce? Because the state association and their football is not as developed as in Manipur and Mizoram. So do you think BCCI can help Indian football? I don't think so. Why would they also? They've helped in the past with money, but why would they? Is I-League making money? Deepak, no. Do you think fans are not looking for more technical aspects rather than seeing unrealistic motivation to believe in celebrity speech? Yeah, that's one of the problems. Another here that TSV 1860 used to be a Bundesliga club and arch rival of Bayern. Can I turn short about the history and their downfall? Yeah. 1860 Munich used to be the bigger team in Munich until the early 60s. So 1860 Munich were part of the initial Bundesliga in 1963. Bayern only got promoted in 1965. And the rest, as I say, is history. 1860 since then has struggled. It's gone down to the third, to the fourth division a number of times. At the moment, they're playing in the third tier and then Dritte Liga, third division, and play in a small stadium called Grünwalder Stadion in Munich, which is close. And interestingly, the training complexes of 1860 and Bayern Munich are actually on the same road, on the Siebener Straße. So if you walk, I don't know, 500, 700 meters, you walk from 1860s training ground to Bayern Munich's training facility. Yeah, so they had a foreign investor from Jordan, and with that, so to say, the downfall started. If East Bengal finishes at the bottom, do you expect a civil war in clubhouse? I just don't see this not ending in some sort of disasters. Abhijit, I don't know what will happen, but the signs at the moment are not good. Why Salga FC stop operation of the senior team? Nishant, they said they want to focus on youth football, something that Dempo Sports Club also did. And yeah, maybe let's see if they in the long run return to top level football. Don't you think state affairs have to be much more proactive, or at least targeting to create more players of top level quality, or starting with that? What do most affairs benefit by being idle? Your first sentence is 100% spot on, Navneet, but it's not happening, right? That's the reality. But the state affairs are dependent on the clubs. The role of the clubs is very, very important, and state affairs benefit of being idle. I think a lot of them are happy just to be in the chair. Sai can help build to, oh God, no, Deepak. One of the bodies which need to be actually dismantled. And that, tell me 3 things which improvement you've seen within 20 years. I come back to the TV production part through the ISL. The media coverage has been ensured. We have had times where matches were not being shown. I would say that infrastructure has improved massively in the last 20 years. ISL combination with the under 17 men's and women's World Cups, that is done. And third thing is difficult to say. There's a lot of these things. Yeah. Where's the real improvement? That would be my question. Our difference is small club in Germany is making money and Indian club making money. No Indian club makes money, Deepak. So that's your first story. So therefore, small German clubs somehow survive through gates, sponsorship, some donations. Somehow or the other they survive. But India, small clubs, comes in, goes out. There are people in the background who try keeping it surviving. I'm worried for Indian team's performance in Badotkar. Why, Abhijit? The 2 foreign teams are coming in at short notice, jet-lagged, different weather conditions. Defensia is not even the first team. It's a combination of a B under 19. So let's wait and see. I don't know. And with we'll see. Goa, Odisha. We'll see what they can do in this tournament, right? So that's that. Right, 1.5 hours, guys. Those of you who haven't, please like this video. As I always say, please share it as well with friends who might be interested in our evening conversation discussions on Indian football. If you and they like it, 30 likes so far, maybe we can get some more. And 1,501 subscribers. Thank you very much, guys. One thing I wanted to ask is I've been given a suggestion by some people in the background that I should change to a subscribers only mode in regard to asking questions. So therefore, that might be something I'm thinking about. Let me know. I don't know if you've all subscribed, or if you have, then it isn't. But this might be something that I might be trying out in the coming days. So for tonight, 1.5 hours done, 90-minute football game. There is no update on the PSC hearing at the moment. We will have to wait till tomorrow. I think the PSC themselves will sit together and discuss the matter. In the Durand Cup, good news, the first semi-final, Northeast United versus Shillong Lajong, will take place in Shillong. And in the AFC Challenge League, which happens for the first time this year, East Bengal have been drawn with Nejme SC, Basundara Kings, as well as Paro FC, and that would take place in Thimphu in Bhutan in October and November. So that's that for today. As always, as I said, like, share, and subscribe, and also do watch the shorter videos that I've made on different topics like East Bengal's group. And yeah, tomorrow, whenever the news comes out on Anwar's hearing, I will surely do a video on that, and we see each other tomorrow evening. Good night, everyone.